Hey there, this is Joe Simonds, Like Diamonds. Welcome back to the Joe Simonds Like Diamonds Show, episode number 4. This is an awesome story. It's one that my father-in-law recently passed over to me via email, and it's how this black dot literally changed an entire classroom's perception on life and happiness. Really cool story. But before I get into that, let me set the clock. As you probably know if you've been watching here, I promise that Monday through Thursday I do one of these episodes, 7 minutes or less, where I give you one big idea, something you can take away and take action on. Most of these are based on things that are out of this book. So all of these shows are sponsored by the book Fishing for Happiness. If you haven't picked up your copy, please do. Go check out all the awesome reviews on Amazon. In the meantime, let me figure out how to get this thing going. And this should be it right here. 7 minutes start now. So before I go into the black dot, let me tell you a quick story about myself, something that happened last night. Actually, really early this morning, I guess it was. So I went to bed normal time, and if you know anything about me and reading this book, I wake up pretty early. So I got up at 5 a.m. this morning to do my little morning ritual that I always do, and I was stretching my legs. And one of the things that you're not ever supposed to do in the morning, because as you can imagine, is it a distraction, is to check your phone or to check your emails. And something inside of me was like, oh, Joe, it won't be that bad. So I checked my phone. And guess what? I go to Facebook, which I normally do, and I'm really good about not doing it early in the morning, but I normally, as soon as I get on my phone, I check my emails and Facebook, the two main things I check. And I always check notifications just to see if anything crazy has happened or anyone's tagging me. And lo and behold, I'm tagged all over the place. People are tagging me, and this all happened like 3 hours earlier. So this is going back to just 2 in the morning, and I'm tagged everywhere. I'm like, what could possibly be going on? And it shouldn't shock me that, because this happens a lot. It was all revolving around a private Facebook group that I created, and I'm one of the main admins on. And there was some going back and forth, a lot of cussing and F-bombs dropping, and just completely out of control, inappropriate stuff and conversations happening, all because of something that really had nothing to do with anything. It was all about just like, does a certain fish taste good? And prior to this, another one went way downhill early in the morning about something even dumber. It was about the size of a fish. Someone was claiming that certain fish didn't weigh what the person said it was. Even though they weren't there, they could tell by the picture that it wasn't actually that heavy. And all of a sudden, people are calling each other's wives bad names and like just crazy stuff. And these are adults, mind you. These are people older than me. And so I go in there and I just start deleting people. And I started thinking about it. I was like, all right, so here I am, 5 in the morning. I'm interrupting my day. I could tell by looking through the notes or the comments that people were waiting, because everyone wants to get that last word in, right? They were waiting to see if that person would say something else. So they were literally up until 2 in the morning going back and forth on a stupid Facebook string. And here's the main message, and I'm going to get to this in just a second. The main message is always to ask yourself this one question when you get into any kind of just dumb thing like this in life. The question is this: will this matter a year from now? And if that's too much for you, because that's a lot for some people to think about, will this matter a month from now? Will this matter a week from now? And of course the answer is no. All those people on that string that stayed up late, including me getting up early and messing up my routine this morning, which is why I'm cranky right now, none of this is going to matter. Nothing on that is going to matter a week from now or a month from now or a year from now. And if it's not going to matter, then don't let it get to you. Who cares? Let it go. Life is too short to let that kind of stuff bother you. So back to this. So there's a college professor that has the whole class in there, and he springs a pop quiz on them. And here is what happens. He puts this paper on their desk, face down, has everyone ready, tells them there's going to be a pop quiz, and they have a few minutes to do it. And he says, everyone flip over your paper. And they flip it over to see this. One big black dot on a piece of paper. They're all kind of puzzled, as you can imagine. And he says, here's the pop quiz. I want you to take another sheet of paper out and explain this. Tell me what you see here. Write as vivid as you can. Get creative. And I'll challenge you, do the same. If you were given the same pop quiz, what would you say about this? This black dot here on a big white sheet of paper. What would you say about it? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. get it even closer here. So he starts taking all these papers back in. He reads them one by one. As you can imagine, every single person focused on the black dots. Some were trying to say it was, not centered. Some were trying to say it meant something else or had meaning. All of this stuff. All of them were wrong. And he basically, failed, even though it was just a really more of a meaningful pop quiz. All of them failed because the answer was that not a single one of them focused on the white space. And here is what he told the class afterwards. Not a single one of you, class, focused on this white space, yet this represents your life. The white space is where all the magic happens. This is where love and relationships happen. This is where growth happens. This is where everything that's good in life happens right here. And this black dot is the dumb things like the text or the comment string on Facebook. This is, oh, I'm having a tough month, or I have a credit card bill due. The stuff that we just get so down on ourselves, this is what we end up focusing on in life, where all this good stuff is out here we rarely focus on. I've seen so many of my friends, coworkers, colleagues, and just people on the internet get so focused on this dumb little stuff here that's meaningless, that will not matter in a week or a month or a year from now. Now, if you found out you have cancer, and I've been there, I found out I had melanoma 10 years ago, that is going to have an impact on me a week, a month. Yes, that's okay to focus on that, but so much of our lives we focus on all this dumb little stuff, yet there's so much good stuff right here. This is where love, all the awesome stuff happens. So the moral of the story is, don't pollute your minds with this small little stuff that's irrelevant and most of the time will have zero impact on your life or your friend's life unless you let it pollute your mind in any significant time from now. Probably even tomorrow, it usually won't matter. So always ask your question. This is the big takeaway. Ask your questions anytime you get down in the dumps, anytime you start focusing on this small stuff in life, when all this good stuff is here. Ask yourself, will this matter a year from now? Will I remember this a year from now? Will this have an impact on my life a year from now, a month from now, a week from now? If the answer is no, then let it go. Forget about it and focus on the good stuff. Don't let this pollute your mind. That's it. We're down to the last few seconds here. Stay tuned for episode number 5 on Monday. Thank you all for tuning in. Joe Simonds Like Diamonds. Over now.